All right, let us start. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante bhuri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Idang me silang Magapala Jnanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta Sa. Right. Let us do some guided mudita before we start the talk. And let us all relax here. Let go of all the planning, thoughts. Just keep the mind present, peaceful, calm. Let the body relax. Let the body relax. Relax from top of the head down to the forehead, face, shoulders. Arms and chest, stomach area, the back, the spine, the hips, the thighs and knees. Relax the calf. Relax the ankles, soles, toes. So relax the body. Now let us recall. Let's recall back to the past some wholesome deeds that we have done, an offering, a giving, a service. Then we recall it. Then we arouse the joy. We rejoice in our action. Now let us start. May all my material gains from the past, present or future, may all my gains do not disappear, do not fade away. May all my gains able to increase for my happiness, for my well-being, for my welfare. May all my spiritual gains from the past, present or future, may all my gains do not disappear, do not fade away. May all my gains able to increase. May all my gains able to give me spiritual development. May all my gains able to increase and not disappear. May all my gains give me happiness, joy, give me spiritual development. Let us expand. Let us expand to all the beings around here. Monk or nuns, fellow yogis, helpers, volunteers, workers, donors, sponsors, supporters, to all the guardian devas of this center, to all other devas around here, to all the betas, and to all the animals, big, small, seen or unseen. Whatever material gains we have accumulated from the past, present, or will accumulate in the future, may all these gains do not disappear, do not fade away. May all these gains able to increase for their happiness, for their welfare, for their well-being. May all their spiritual gains from the past, present, or future, may all their gains able to increase and not disappear, not fade away. May all their gains give them happiness, give them joy. May all their happiness, may all this happiness, may all these spiritual gains give rise to spiritual development. May all their gains, material or spiritual, do not disappear, do not fade away. May all their gains able to increase for their happiness, for their welfare, for their well-being. Now let us expand. Let us expand our mudita to all the beings in this country. To all the beings in this country, humans or non-humans, devas, betas, animals big, small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings in this country, whatever material gains from the past, present or future, May all their gains do not disappear. May all their gains able to increase. May all their gains give them happiness, give them joy, for their welfare, for their well-being. May all their spiritual gains from the past, present, or future, may all their gains do not fade away, do not disappear. May all their gains able to increase for their happiness, for their welfare, for their well-being. May all their gains able to increase and not disappear. May all their gains give them happiness, joy, and for their spiritual development. Now let us expand. Let us expand our joy, appreciative joy, to all the beings in this world. To all the beings in this world. May they be our loved ones near or far away, or to those whom we do not know wherever they are, and to those whom we dislike or those who dislike us. To all the devas, or the guardian devas of the Buddha Sasana, to all other devas, to all the petas, to all the animals, big, small, far or near, seen or unseen. Whatever material gains from the past, present or future, may all their gains do not disappear. May all their gains do not fade away. May all their gains able to increase for their happiness, for their welfare, for their well-being. May all their spiritual gains from the past, present, and future, may all their gains do not fade away. May all their gains do not diminish. May all their gains able to increase, to give them happiness, to give them joy, to give them spiritual development. May all beings in this world able to live happily with themselves and others, and not in jealousy or envy. May all beings in this world, whatever gains from the past, present, or future, may all of them be happy. Now let us expand further. Let us expand the mudita to all beings without exception, to all beings in this universe or universes, to all beings from the highest planes of existence down to the lowest plane of existence, to all beings in all the world systems. May all beings without exception, whatever material gains from the past, present or future, may all their gains able to increase and not disappear. Give them happiness and joy for their well-being, for their welfare. And whatever spiritual gains from the past, present or future, may all these gains able to increase. May all these gains do not disappear. May all their gains able to give them happiness, joy, and spiritual development. May all beings, whatever gains from the past, present, or future, may they all be happy. May they all able to live at ease. May all their happiness give them for their spiritual development. And slowly let go of the mudita. We come back to the present. Come back to the body. Feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Feel the sensation of the body. Then we can slowly open our eyes. All right. So again, yesterday yesterday and on Tuesday, we're talking about the balance of the faculties, of the concentration. There are many things, finer things that, these things that the yogi should really know. Yeah. Because some of these things are not really being taught usually. It's only when you have those experience, then you can able to understand. Usually, many times I hear balancing of faculties. Yes, they talk about balanced faculties in a very overall sense. That sometimes I hear, okay, concentration should be balanced with effort. Then they give you an overall of things. But the experience sometimes yogis, although they understand that it has to be balanced, but they don't really know what to do. And for many years, actually, they do not know what to do. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, there are some of the things about the balancing that we talk about. Yeah. And tonight, I'm going to look into uh, conditions for the arising of the concentration. Yeah. Arising of the concentration. There are a number of things. You see, the tranquility and the concentration, they are in a way overlap. Mm. They overlap all their conditions. Some of things like I mentioned also in the effort also, which I'm going to mention also afterwards. Again, some of the conditions are also important. Yeah. In the Abhidhamma, it says that a condition for concentration to arise, it's happiness. Somanasa, maybe, I think so. If happiness here or comfort here, then it has to come from mind and body. It cannot be body comfort only, but the mind has not peace and calm, and in a way, somehow or another, it is happy. If it's not happy, then a bit difficult for you to do meditation. So, in other words, there are many things that your body able to settle, your mind able to feel at ease, then only actually you can come for meditation. Then only your mind settle down. Take some, for example, let's talk about the mind first. If you come in here for the retreat now, and you carry the burden of all your work, or your family problems, or whatever problems that you have out there, and you left it hanging, then you come to retreat. And then that time, the mind, when it starts to meditate after coming down, then this type of things will start popping up. Then it will start popping up, and then again and again, it rolls and roll and roll in the mind. And then it feel very difficult for the mind to settle down. In other words, in a way, it's agitation. Yeah? So somehow or another, if you don't settle those things, then difficult. Yeah? That's why sometimes even like students also, last time here in Kota Tinggi here, there are many students come in for the retreat, university students. Usually like April to July, when they have a long break during that time. There's a long break, that's a 3 months break. So during this 3 months break, there's number of university students used to come over here to meditate. That time you can see there's a lot of UKM, UPM, USM, whatever U. Nowadays, of course, more U. In those days, only have government U. So they come in like 10, 5%, and then of course, kind of like their Buddhist society organize this type of retreat, they come. Yeah. And normally, usually, Reverend Sujiva will say that, immediately after exam, please don't come. After 1 week later, then only you come. Because after an exam, it's like, oh, a very tension period of your time, of your life. Yeah. And all this assignment or this last minute study and all this thing, and then after that you within like finish your exam 1 or 2 days, you want to come over. He says, don't come. I come after 1 week later, all relax and put everything aside. If not, all the questions are still very fresh into your head. Then you meditate and all the questions come out. And then you see how you answer. Yeah, I just got to write that one. Then they also have a lot of agitation in the mind. So it's not good. So in other words, the mind is not really settled. It's not really settled. Or maybe in another way, yet you may have like anxiety or a lot of thinking. Maybe, perhaps, let's say, what? Let's say maybe that somebody, your loved one, is having sickness, and then you kind of like you want to go to a retreat, but you still go after all. Perhaps somebody else could able to take care, but yet your mind still not feel settled, still not settled, still hanging there. Uh, so the mind. So a lot of this is our attachment to our worldly things. So the attachment there, when it comes to the retreat, then very hard for us to settle the mind. Another thing about the nature of the mind also is that if your precepts are not pure, or you don't even bother about precepts out there, you kind of drink, kill, cheat, whatever ways that this one, and then you want to come to retreat. So you need to develop, a pure mental state. But the purity of that mental state is always affected by all those things that you have done in the past. And then all these things, it comes in again and again, it bombarded you. So angry, so attached, and so on, cannot settle down. I've met with this type of yogis a lot, especially in the overseas, where in the Western countries, virtue, morality is almost not there. Some people, yes, some people they have, but many are seen not. They don't have. They only come to want to meditate only. So when they come to meditate, they just want to keep the mind quiet only. But the mind cannot quiet because all the wrong things that they've done spring out again and again and again and again. They cannot settle down. Even for those who are Buddhists, or maybe only you become Buddhist like 3 or 5 years ago or 10 years ago, maybe you already, let's say, around already 60 plus. So 10 years ago, maybe 55 after you retire, only you want to properly follow the teaching of the Buddha. So you do dana, you take up your precepts and so on, and then you want to meditate. Well and good. Still not too late yet, Late, but not too late yet. The thing is that all these type of things that you meditate, the past 50 years, that whatever you have done, a lot of things you have done it out of ignorance. And now ignorance, then all the precepts, we commit a lot of these unwholesome deeds through speech, through action, through thoughts. And then all these things, when it come in to your meditation, and it goes again and again and again and again and again. There's nothing to, for example, if you don't do a lot of all these good deeds and so on, or sporadic here and there, you do a bit dana here, a little bit of service there, a little bit of kindness there. In the sense of time, it's far in between. So when it comes to retreat now, when you want to gladden the mind, you look into your mind, when did I do any dana? Did I do any dana? You got to think so hard, so difficult. As if like, you look into your big your bucket of wholesome deeds are all empty one. Nothing inside there, nothing much. But if you are frequently able to do all this dana, and service and kindness and so on, then anywhere you turn on the bucket inside there, you turn here, there's one. And you turn here and there, there's another one. Otherwise, you turn in your mind, because very frequently your thoughts come in, it's like that. Yeah. So if you have a lot of all these type of doing wholesome deeds, then when you come to meditate also, instead of going into all kinds of nonsense of thinking, but this time the thinking is recalling about doing this dana, doing that dana, or it's still good. It's still wholesome, but of course it also will affect the meditation also, like if you think too much of it. But anyway, it's still a wholesome thought. And that type of wholesome thought, they can be the foundation for a deeper concentration to come. So therefore, it's good that we keep our precepts as pure as we can, as much as best as we can. All right. There you are. There's always somebody there. Okay. All right. So the precepts is important. Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So you need a lot of Sila, and then after that, the Samadhi only can come in. Perhaps I was thinking maybe we'll talk about Samadhi. We're going to maybe after 7 factors of enlightenment, we talk about all this Sila a little bit. Also, it's a big area that we can cover. Different types of Sila that one can able to look into, not just 5 or 8 precept or 10 precept only. There's so many ways of how we can look at morality, virtue, and so on. Okay. Now, so one area is that you have to keep your mental health in check. If you have a lot of sadness, a lot of anxiety, that is very difficult for you when you come over to meditation. So therefore, you have to keep at least your mental health in check. Don't get too attached in the worldly things, because when those things separated, gets old or die, or people get old, die, or your things lost and so on, you get too attached to all these type of things, then in the meditation, it will spring out. We don't realize that all these attachments that of ours, as I said, The responsibility is one thing, attachment is another thing. Uh, we do not shrink our responsibility as a part of the family member or part of the society, but the attachment that we have to learn to differentiate between what is responsibility and what is attachment. You reduce the attachment, the more the better, but you don't have to reduce the responsibility. Responsibility still can be done. Even in the world, especially with the strong family members, sometimes the attachment becomes too strong, then it makes life for other people very unbearable. Sometimes you become too attached to them. Whatever they do, you want to control. Over controlling, overbearing. We don't realize that this brings about a lot of suffering. So hopefully you are not that. But you still have to do all whatever responsibility that you need to be done. So a lot of background work on the mental health that you have to learn to give some happiness in your life, a mental happiness in your life. Yeah? Wholesome happiness. Yeah? Let's talk about the body. In the sense that the body also needs some kind of pleasantness and comfort. Without the bodily pleasantness and comfort also, then you are going to have a hard time doing this meditation. Yeah? One of the big factor is that you must have a good health. Good health, what I'm saying is good health over here is you still can able to sleep, eat, able to walk, then fine now, if you got a little bit of high blood pressure, you still can meditate one. You still a little bit of, let's say, diabetes is not too strong, still can able to do a retreat. Unless your health is totally gone, you're invalid, cannot walk anymore, that you need some assistant, a helper to do everything for you, that one, of course, is going to be difficult for you to meditate already. As we grow older, how many over here 70? Chit no sa, almost see, four out of five, four out of today so many live. You see, our age is all catching up with us. And when the age comes in, I tell you honestly, it's going to be a hard time. I said, once in a while, I have to attend funeral of the past yogi, I've thought. Sooner or later, either, I think, we do not know, but the chances you go first are higher. As we get older, of course we never know, but the chances are. I've seen yogis that able to meditate and then they were able to strong walk, sit, morning walk, 1 hour walk, sit. After some time, as they get older, they cannot do all these things anymore. Yeah. Sometimes they are, as they get older too, then their life partner also get older. Whether their spouse get older, then they have to take care. Then they take care also, they also cannot go. Yeah. So as we get older, sometimes it's not easy for us to go meditate that much. Not that easy. Yeah. Sometimes because of high blood pressure, we need certain type of medication or certain type of food. Then it's going to be a bit more difficult. While we are here, if we are still able to be healthy, then when you have that bodily comfort, you're not so concerned about your health yet, then we keep pushing, and therefore the concentration can easier for it to come in. It has the basic conditioning. So the health is important. So every time you go back, every time when we go back from a retreat, as much as you are able to do your work and your whatever that you need to do, but make sure you don't neglect exercises. You don't neglect exercise. But of course, we don't overdo lah. Do whatever that you are capable. So don't neglect those things. These are some of the conditions that we need for the bodily comfort. Because the bodily comfort, then you always base on it that this bodily comfort, this bodily health, this good health, that I can able to pursue the noble path. Not because I have good health, then I'm thinking because of this good health, then I want to go for tour, kai here and there. Because a lot of people like that, out there. You mix with all your exercise group, yoga group lah, hiking group lah, tai chi group lah. Ask them why is it that they want to have good health? What's the purpose of coming for a good health for? And all this good health is because they still want to travel. They want to feel good. They want to feel good. They want to, eat everything, whatever is there. To them, that is happiness. But those are worldly happiness. A worldly happiness. So it's always good that when we have this good health, we understand its more noble purpose. We elevate it for a better noble purpose, that we can able to use this body, this good health, for the purpose of doing a lot of good deeds, dana, offering kindness, and most important, the development of the mind. The development of the mind. So therefore, we need all this external good health. So the Buddha says, to one of the conditions to strive, not just meditate, but striving, is this good health. You don't have to worry that much on health. And when there's no problem. Those days, when I go for retreat, long retreat, I only take multivitamin only. And that's all. Nowadays, bo xiang lah. This also one, that also need, eyes also need, heart also need, stomach also need. It's like you all are. From the hair, everything, this vitamin for this, that for that one for that one for that. Every time go retreat also, I have to calculate how much medicine I have to take. How much supplement, how much omega-3 lah, this and that. Ma fun, Just like you all, you see all your table also the same thing. Sometimes, you see, I think I spoke about this before. No, not this. With Reverend Jyotinanda, sometimes we come back, we got no retreat, and sometimes we come back to the peace house. During lunchtime, nowadays, when we talk about, what supplement are you taking? This supplement is good. Then he recommend me another supplement. I recommend him another one. Our talk is like that. Those days, 10 over years ago, we don't talk like that. We don't talk about supplements. It's never hardly in the vocabulary, No, they sit down, they didn't see each other, and then after that is talk about that. Well, you see. Then I said, as we grow older, then things a bit more difficult. Yeah. Nevertheless, we try to keep up a good health. Whatever that is, we need this good health for us to practice. Even when you are sick, also. Yeah. When you're sick, let's say you come over here, then you have some kind of sickness is there. Perhaps, let's say, yeah, a common one when you are in a retreat, common one is the stomach upset. Because, sometimes you go to a retreat, different types of food they are preparing, different types of people are preparing. Even right now, from 2 months, already, almost 2 months. Yeah, 2 months already. Yeah, we got one more month to go. Yes. So 2 months already, there's number of people preparing food. Sometimes we cater, sometimes that time Brother Chu was here, prepare for us 3 weeks and then left and then with. Oh, so different people prepare food for us. Yeah. Then here, when we different people prepare food, then therefore once in a while when you take this type of food, it may not be so easy on the stomach. Yeah. Like when you go to Thailand or Burma or overseas, then this type of food, you makan, you're somehow or another you have to get used to it until your body, your stomach can able to withstand the 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 type of food from those country. Yeah. Even with all those things happening, yeah, that you come in with all this food poisoning or whatever, diarrhea and all these things, we don't give up on it. We don't give up. Oh, diarrhea already, buy a ticket, go back home. No, there's no such thing. When we go there, we go one-way ticket. No thinking of coming back. But even if we are retreat, even when you're sick also, we don't think of coming back. We're sick also, we try to overcome our sickness there. We try to overcome we bear up with it. Even sick also, we not. Even you lie down also, whenever the mind is a bit more clearer, or no fever, and then not. What even when you're lying down, and we don't think of going back. Yeah. The resolve, the the resolve in the meditation is very strong. Yeah. So hopefully all of you have that too. Don't a little bit, Bante, bye bye. A little bit want to balik, little bit want to go back. No lah. If when you determine, let's say you determine you want to finish the 3 months retreat, you better finish the 3 months retreat. There's no halfway unless that somebody died, that you need to attend. After you attend the funeral, you come back again, unless it's your funeral. Unless it's yours, then of course. So somebody else died, you go there, you attend the funeral because you got to show up your face. Then after that, if you finish that thing, you come back again. Yeah. At one time, my late mother went to the hospital. I was in a retreat, back in Penang. Then after that, okay lah, go and show my face there for a few days. After that, she left the hospital. Enough, I went back to retreat again. Like that, try to meditate. So when you resolve to finish it, you finish it. Whatever that is happening, if you can able to overcome in whatever ways you try to overcome it, but you finish the retreat. If you resolve it for 2 weeks, you better finish your 2 weeks. 10 days, you better finish your 10 days. 3 months, you better finish your 3 months. 1 year, you want to finish for 1 year also. Yeah. So this is how when we strive, that with the good health that you have, with the good mind that you have, then you can able to strive. With that striving, then the condition for the mind to able to calm down, to develop, and the concentration for it to come in, that is important. Those are really important. The next thing also, conditions for good concentration to come in. It's also it says that your body itself has to be clean. Purification of the basis, they call it, That means your body itself has to be somewhat clean, and your environment also must be somewhat tidy or cleaner in a certain sense, but not the type of obsessive type of attachment to cleanliness of the body. Now, when we say that we need the body to be clean, other words are that your robes or your outfit, or your shirt, your blouse, your pants, whatever that you need, they are clean, But you don't have to be like over obsessive with a little bit of sweat only. Cannot tahan. You have to go and wash their shirt already. You have to change already, Some people become so too obsessive with their body that every time, if it's during meditation, if it's a hot day, then get sweat. I mean, you sweat out, I've seen yogis. I heard yogis. They take shower for 5 times a day. 5 times a day, as if like as many as your walking meditation already, or more than your sitting meditation. How are you going to meditate like that? They cannot tahan. Oh, Bhante, so hot, a bit sweat, and then you come out, so you still sweat, man, the hot day. Right now. Right now here, the past 2 months are more or less, the weather is something like that, quite cooling, a bit of few days hot here and there, hardly see any sun right now. So some people, they get so attached to the body. When they're attached to the body, they're always obsessed with to get rid of the sweat. Cannot take the sweat. Then they cannot take the sweat, they cannot go anywhere. They must look for a place called aircon, air conditioning. Yeah. Sometimes if it's cool enough, then they say, too far away, like Kota Tinggi, too far away. Too far away. As I said, they say too far away. What is usually my reply? If it's too far away, then they go China, they go US, Kai Kai and everything. That one not far away. But they come to Kota Tinggi, far away. Sometimes even go KKB also far away. Go to Penang also far away. But go everywhere else not so far. If they like it. So, in other words, you got to learn to keep the body clean. So in the way that the body is clean, but not obsessive type of cleanliness, If it's a bit of sweat, it's okay. Doesn't matter. After you sweat, the sweat stop also, you can still able to meditate. In fact, that during a retreat, it's good for us to sweat a little bit. This type of weather, like this cool weather, you sweat. And some of us have to go into the sun and sunbathe for a while. we have to, and it's good actually. It's good actually. You just get the bit of sunlight with this type of weather. It is good, because if you don't sweat, sometimes you feel the body a bit more tight and so on. So sweat when it comes in, you feel like I don't have to pay for sauna. It's come naturally to me. Just meditate. No, in one time I was in Burma, then sweating. I mean, this is the horrible. I mean, their hot season is it's really hot, and it's like 35 degrees to 40 degrees hot. 110 degrees Fahrenheit. It's really hot. You sit down. The moment you sit down, it's already sweat. Sweat until the whole back is sweat. Your pants or your sarong also sweat. Everything is sweat. And everybody smells sweating. But after that, you feel quite okay. Because after all the sweating and so on, the mind feel quite alert. The body health is quite good. And for long-term practice, this is good. And this is somewhat good. So all you need to do is to change your mind just to get used to it. Change your mind just to get used to it. It's always good that the mind of a yogi is flexible. Heat also you can take it, warm you can take it, cold you can take it, but not, of course, not excessive in the sense. But there must be a range that you must learn to take it. There are days like up to 31, 32 degrees Celsius, then take it. Right now it's 26 degrees Celsius, then take it. It's a 10-degree difference. It's quite a lot. But of course, sometimes it gets colder a little bit. If your body is strong enough, if you still can able to take it, then well and good. But then when you can take it, you adapt to it, your mind settle down. When the mind settle down, then okay, you don't feel this one, because inside the mind, you feel that there is a comfort there. You feel that there's a comfort there. Even you sweat, that time you feel sweat a bit more sticky, but your mind feels that, well, somehow or another, it's good for the long-term practice, that sweat. So you change your mindset, it feels good. The whole mind settle down, the mind settle down, the meditation starts going on. If you keep on thinking, oh, so hot, is keep on sweating, I don't like it, then that a lot of aversion, a lot of discomfort in the mentally, because your mind can't take it. So all these small little things, if we overlook all these things, it can affect our mind. So a yogi needs to able to adapt to the situation, to the weather. So also, therefore, weather is one thing. The next one also, you must able to be adaptable to the food. Different places, they give you different type of food. Like when I go to certain places, that certain retreat has to be conducted in a Mahayana temple. Then what food do you eat? Vegetarian. If you cannot take the vegetarian, then difficult. So for me, I'm quite okay. 2 weeks, 3 weeks of vegetarian, I'm fine, no problem. After that, I'll look for a burger already. The limit is there already, because I used to it. Anyway, all these type of things, is that if you are adaptable to the food, if you're able to adaptable to a bit more spicy, like for example, if you go to, sometimes you go to Penang, meditate, or more the northern side, or even Burma, Thailand, then they have a lot of spices there, a lot of spicy food there. To them, to over there, the places, they can quite okay with it. So if you're not able to, then it's going to be a bit difficult. You have to learn to take a bit more oil. Some places a bit more salty. Must learn to adapt to all these things. If I remember first few times when I went to Burma. I mean, they love the food, especially the meat. The meat is like, the meat is this one, but the three-layered meat is on the top there, so thick like that. So thick like that. So usually for us, we just take the meat part. Yeah. But the Burmese, oh, the monk sit beside me, I look at me, I didn't take. Oh, I gave it to him, he's so happy. Good friend for life. They love this type of thing. They love this thing. After a while, I get used to it. I don't give him anymore. I eat. So just get used to it, Get used to it. Then okay, that time at 30 plus, okay. Don't worry. Yeah. So after that, it's not much of a problem, not much of a problem because there's that time, of course, walk and sit, walk and sit, walk and sit. By the time evening also, you get hungry also. So anyway, you will learn to adapt to it. This type of food, when you learn to adapt to it, then okay. So when you're okay with this type of food, and then it's fine. Yeah. If you go to like where Isan. Isan is the northeast of Thailand. Yeah. Northeast of Thailand, and of course some of the devotees, or monks also. Many of the Thai monks, they like to go to that forest tradition, and then a lot of the forest tradition is in the northeast of Thailand. Yeah? Quite famous, like Ajahn Chah and so on. Yeah? They are all in the northeastern side. But the nature of the food now, some of the food over there can be quite difficult to swallow because some of the things that they eat now is like the whole beetle is a live one, as if like a candy, take up, and it's still crawling now. Or some bugs or some things, or fried grasshopper, things that normally we don't get used to. Over there, they are quite okay with it, and to them, it's quite a good protein. Actually, it's quite a good protein source, but we are not so used to it. Of course, those are live things we don't eat. But because I was in the market, I saw people sometimes say, all this beetle is still alive, is still moving around, the worms is still moving around. I thought this was for fish, but the person just walked down and take out. Tak boleh lah, that one is a bit too much for us, and also it's not good for us because it's also breaking a precept, right? It's also breaking a precept to them. I mean, it's part of the whole thing. I haven't heard that sometimes they like like mice, fried mice. Yeah. So this type of food a bit too rough for us, a bit too difficult for us. But of course, most of the food is okay. Most of the things are okay. Yeah. So these are small things, but perhaps they don't serve it in the monastery because things are still alive, of course. But the things that I've seen it like in the market, these things, the common people, the lay people eat. So other words, the food also when we eat, we have to be adaptable. We're adaptable to a certain range that it's proper and it's okay for us. And if we are not too choosy, then we can go many places for us to meditate. If you are choosy, this cannot eat, that cannot eat, very difficult. Some people meat cannot eat, some people this cannot eat, some people that cannot eat, then a bit difficult. So that are really bit difficult. Unless, of course, you may have certain allergy, that is difficult. But some people just by choice, their own choice. It's not because of health reason, but it's just by certain choice. So therefore, if you're not that flexible, it's going to be a bit difficult for you to go to places to meditate. Yeah? Go to places, therefore, I said one thing is the food, the other one is the climate, weather. Then the next one also is the external, is on the posture also, your posture. There are four major postures, like standing, walking, sitting, and lying down. Here, when you do this retreat, we emphasize on, usually it's the walking and the sitting. Standing, once in a while we can try, but we don't really emphasize on the lying down, right? You know what you're going to do with the lying down? If you see, in the Vipassana, although it's mentioned by the Buddha, but not everybody should do it yet. Especially like the lying down posture. It's not good for most people. It's not to say most people, but it's not good for new beginners. Beginners, or even you have some degree of practice. Lying down is not good posture. But if you are sick, if you're not feeling well, then of course that posture will be very good. You can't even sit like that. You can't even walk that time. So you are lying down. So that time when you lie down, if your mind is alert, then we still carry on noting, not until the mind become not clear. Then when it clear again, then not again. Then that time lying down posture will be very helpful. You can able to note the sensation of the legs, sometimes rising and falling, sometimes the whole body. There's many sensation that we can able to note in the lying down. Only that time when you're not feeling well. But if you lying down and sleeping, it's two different things. Lying down, that means you try to keep the mind 100% alert. This is a lying down posture. It's still a meditation. You keep it 100% alert at that time, or as best as you could. But if you want to, for sleeping, if you want to rest already to sleep, then of course we don't do that. We reduce the whole state of mind to become more relaxed, more calm, more aware. Don't let the mind runs, and slowly let the mind goes into sleep. Don't let the mind goes into sleep. So don't let the mind run too much that time. Yeah. Noting too strongly also become very, very difficult. Usually, walking, sitting, and sometimes the standing posture. Now, in the standing posture, a lot of us, we don't emphasize on that. But sometimes it is a good posture. There are places in Burma, they teach the standing for 1 hour, or more than that. When they stand for 1 hour, of course, they note the bodily sensations, and which is good, which is also valid Vipassana objects. So once in a while, these postures, this standing posture also can be good. Sometimes, for example, like when your alertness of the mind is not so good. Say, for example, you note your object and then there's a bit nothing. Let's say sitting down. Then there's not clear thoughts coming a bit. Next thoughts coming quite a lot. Sleepiness coming also, nothing much. Rising, falling, nothing much. Is there? Come and play hide and seek with you. No, not so much here and there. So this time you find that the sitting posture is not a suitable posture anymore. Then what do? You get up. You get up to do the standing. So you do the standing. Sometimes a change of posture, it helps to re-arouse the energy again. So rearouse the energy, it calms the mind, and they can able to note a lot of sensation like in the 2 feet standing, or the back, or the whole head, up to the thighs, or certain sensation that is dominant enough that for the noting mind to be there. So if you can able to do that, to put the mind noticing what is on the standing, that time it will be good to keep the mind alert. Now, when we do standing, also uh, the posture, the leg that when you do standing, it shouldn't be like parallel like that. It's not a very good. It's not a very good. It gives you stability. It has to be like a V shape a little bit, slightly V shape. If you understand for long, you understand for like half an hour, it has to be a slightly V shape. More like the shape of like your leg and your feet, the bottom of the feet and the shoulder is about that wide a little bit. More like you see when your body is relaxed, just relax the body and just put down the leg and just learn to see how the leg drops onto this one. Don't purposely must be straight, must be this one. Just gently, relaxingly, just drop it the leg on the floor. And then that is the comfortable position for the body. So with that stability is there. Now, when the stability, then the body is relaxed, then you pay attention to the to the posture of the, whether it's sometimes you feel some sensation in the head and note it. Sometimes you can do it like what we do in the sitting and touching. Now you can do like standing and touching. Like you put your hands together. Let's say you put your hands together in front there and note touching, 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 touching. Then after that, you note your, instead of buttock, now you note your left standing, 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 standing. And then you go to your right, standing, 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 because the sensation is there. Then you come up again. Or sometimes you can do like sensation in the hands, touching, 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 and then you scan, standing, 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 all the way down. Then again scan, standing, 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 and then all the way down, scanning all the way down. Then it's quite good. Yeah, it's quite good. You can do it, of course, also during in the walking also. During in the walking, if you nothing much is to be seen, then stand a bit longer for a while. It's okay. But if your walking is good, let's say your sensation is good already, everything is quite clear, then don't stand for too long. Then make a turn already at the back, and then after that continue, because the you want to make things continuous. You want to get the mindfulness continuous. If the walking is already quite clear already, so you don't stand too long. If the walking is not so good, let's say okay, nothing much, this one nothing much, that one nothing much, the same. Okay lah, let's try standing meditation. Try standing meditation is that in the beginning part, the standing meditation can be quite uncomfortable. It's just like if you are just starting to do your sitting meditation, after 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you cannot tahan already. So standing also something like that. For some people, the standing is quite difficult. It's not so easy. And then they feel that there's a lot of instability of the body. Sometimes not easy to stand. Sometimes very tight, very tense in the head for some people. So these type of things, if you find it it's not so comfortable, then better don't stand for too long. But if you're okay with the standing, then try to notice the standing. Because let's say one day, if you're sitting not so clear, what are you going to do? Sit there. Then get up and do the standing for a while. At least you know what to do. Then you can back up. This tak boleh jalan, you try another one, see whether can jalan or not. Or standing, not jalan. See whether it works or not, you know, see whether things work or not. So, so don't just rely on just the sitting, because in the long retreat, not every sitting is a clear sitting. Some sitting is not a good sitting. So not a good sitting, then get up and stand for a while. Stand for a while. The more that you can able to stand, the more that you can able to notice what is going on, then the mindfulness continue that. Then when continue good enough, strong enough, clear enough, then you make an intention, slowly come down and sit again, and bring the whole mindfulness back again to rising and falling and everything. Then things work again. Yeah. So it can be quite helpful, the standing posture. Now, in the standing posture also, some people are not comfortable with the eye closed or the eyes open. Or some people feel that the eyes closed better. Some people feel the eyes open better. Well, that depends on the yogi. Now, you always good that if you want to do a longer standing, it's just like when you do a sitting, that you face the wall, or you face something, it is not nothing in front of your eyes. Don't go and stand in front of a garden, and then with the eyes open. You're not going to do standing meditation, honestly. So standing meditation has to, like, you face the wall a little bit, or you close your eyes so that you get not things don't get distracted. If you want to open the eyes, then face the wall. Some people, you close the eyes, wow, swaying a whole body, or you feel like internally swaying and unstable, and then that time you open up the eyes. So you open up the eyes, you meditate with the eyes open, then you notice the whole sensation of touching or whatsoever. Then it's very helpful. Sometimes it can be so helpful that a lot of sensation is coming in the pressure and all that thing, you come in the pressure and so on, until you don't have to change to sitting meditation. One of the thing is that the standing is supposed to have a lot of energy. A lot of energy is coming up, so that one can be helpful for this one. So the posture also is important. All right. So we continue this thing a little bit more on the Monday. Yeah. So tomorrow we have a Q&A. I got no hope. I don't think so few yogis. Anyway, if you have a question, well and good, then put the questions in the box there in the female side. Yeah? And for those who are online, then if you want to ask any questions, then you can send the questions to Sister Hunling, and then we'll try to this one. Again, here the questions on meditation, not too much on the worldly things, on Dhamma. Then if I have the time, I'll try to do this one. So for those online, the cutoff time is at 3 p.m. For over here, well, you can bring it up to 6 p.m. But yeah, if you have, I'll try to collect it by 12 after lunch also. Okay, we share merits. Idang me bawanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satnanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sape satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy, may they rejoice, in these merits. Sadhu, sadhu.